Alright, I'm live. It looks like I'm currently live. And my camera's on. Alright. So I wanted to do the next story stuff. Hmm. It seems like I'm a little laggy though. See if I can fix that. Hmm. Because it seems like I'm kind of laggy right now. I can't pull up my I can't pull up my widgets right now, but they're on, so it's fine, I guess. But I wish my screen wasn't lagging right now. Feels like my frame rate is kind of choppy. Yeah. Anyway, also I gotta notice that my house is gonna be demolished, so I need to deal with that. I'm gonna be getting an Elgato, so I'm gonna see if that's gonna make anything better. It's better in here, so that's not choppy. Yeah, I just don't know why my frame rate is so choppy right now. Taking a while to load. Yeah, I got an Elgato, but my computer's not compatible with it. Yeah, streaming and recording at the same time, but it's just making my thing kind of laggy. I might have to just try streaming for now on and just try not recording at the same time. Cause I need to get caught up for Endwalker. I haven't done that yet. Let's see. If it's any consolation, I myself was a little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alize, Graha, and Tim. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. Let's see. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't been all tales of triumph. Just as we were talking, or such as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Let's see. Anyway, it's good to have you back. Though I can't help noticing that we're one Arianja short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? I couldn't lose him if I tried, and I did try repeatedly, but no. He decided to linger in Alamigo to appraise Raubon and the others of how the land ties to land lies in Garlemald. Then mayhap you would do the same for us. Indeed, it was as Lise said, worse in fact devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and what the heck? Illard? Illard? I guess Illard. Yeah, Illard. Nerva and Illard, or the Illard, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the ends of Xenos and Fandaniel? Oh, I forgot they knew about Fandaniel. Perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into deathly silence with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but has grown busier still with throngs of soldiers and civilians working their day and night to rebuild, or rather transform it. Transform it into what? Difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Ariandra, certain aspects of the design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether and mind, magitech in other words. Oh my god, so much text. Yet, as unnerving as the edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. Let me take my nasal spray. Hold on. Let's see. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed no wise or not to take the risk. If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Be sure to save some for Arianger. Reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Raubon is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings in the towers, and he requested our presence. And why not leave that to us? You must be wary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. Well, in that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter. Turn the microphone. As I promised Kral, we need not all attend. Very well, I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we have to speak with Arianja before our meeting. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of laggy while I'm trying to stream and record at the same time. I might just have to disable my recording and then just try downloading it from Twitch directly. I hope when I get the Elgato, then things will be smoother. As long as my computer's actually compatible with it. Yeah, frame rate seems so choppy right now. Why does my stream say 0 FPS? That's odd. Oh, let me check my stream on. It's saying 0 FPS for some reason. Let me open Twitch. Hmm. Let's see. It looks like I'm currently streaming, as far as I can tell. Let's see. It looks like I'm currently streaming, as far as I can tell. There's a bit of a large stream delay, though. Yeah, it looks like there's a large stream delay. Although, like, I wish my frame rate wasn't so choppy. That's odd. Not really sure what's going on with that. My friends, much and more have I heard your... The heck? Travails? It looks like it says travels, but it's travails. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails and our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. As we are, let's see, as we to see you safely return from your mission, Ariandra. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Well, if it isn't Alpha Note and his merry band. Is that, Hoary Boulder? I think his name's Hoary Boulder. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's Arenvald? Who's Hoary Boulder, then? Arenvald, whatever you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough of that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in the world, but apparently not. I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body is hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Elysian are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of height. Mark my words, the day will come when even a great aurochs such as yourself will crane your neck to meet me eye to eye, or meet me to eye, or whatever he said. Aye, 'twas not my. Oh my God, 'twas not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, although Moon Brita towered over me nonetheless. Arenvald brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company, it's almost endearing. So what exactly brings you here? Oh, for Dola mostly. She's still kicking around. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Does this have to do with something with the towers? Yeah, we'll give you that impression. Actually, tell me later. We've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Fordola's going with it, that must mean... My apologies. As Arenvald rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let's be about it. But yeah, I might have to disable my computer's automatic recording of these videos because I have them recording at the same time they're streaming. I might just have to just stream it and then download it from Twitch directly. Although that takes up more bandwidth to do that because Comcast starts complaining that I'm using up too much bandwidth when I stream and then record and then download the recording from Twitch instead of just recording and then uploading.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. 'Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Finally some voice acting. I have to say, my voice was getting a little tired out.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoi's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Daniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar, and that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
They were tempered by Garlemald?
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Yeah, kinda.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
The heck is the Telophoroi?
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
Are involved in Cordola.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
And what about Fordola? I thought she was with the Empire.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Freaking
Are
microphone.
you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
Okay. Oh, lag. Well, now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldra and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fudola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Eldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
She could just go back to the Empire.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head!
What is a Telophoroi? I don't remember what that is. It's been a while.
I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Oh, have you?
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, eh? It means a lot, you know. You coming with me?
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light or Alphino, for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime.
Looks like he's 12.
No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try. They're counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this Lunar Bahamut.
Ah, bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru. I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian.
That's good.
And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut. But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
The Bonanza, is that like a airship or something? It's been a while since I played, so I'm not sure what the Bonanza is.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Johnny looks it up real quick. Okay. That's not gonna work. Uh. I'm just looking up streaming hardware for a sec. Best Buy and seeing if there's a version that I can get there instead of from Amazon. Hmm. Yes, it seems like it's not available at Best Buy anymore. Figured I'd check. I had to check that up real quick. Well, I was still thinking about it. I don't want to forget. So Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there is no time to lose. And now, okay, so now I gotta go to Kurthus. Boy, this quest has me jumping all over the place. I had to go from I had to go to what's it called? I had to go to Mordana, and then to Girabanya, and now to Ishgard. I mean, this has me going all over the place. No, not LSA. But I gotta say, my recording is probably putting too much of a strain on my computer. If I'm trying to record at the same time I'm trying to stream. Very well, let us reconvene at the airship landing later, with or without us seeing good luck. I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory, so perhaps you could try the congregation. Lucia may well have heard news from of our firm's return. Because my game's lagging way too much, like when I'm not in a cutscene. I set my game to high priority for the I set my game to high priority, but it's just lagging way too much. Good morrow to you, warrior of light. I haven't been called that in a while. Lord Arameric sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what do we have the pleasure of your visit? I see. No, we were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich only to find him absent. In any event, I am afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. Where's that?
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure I could pick him out in a crowd.
Wait, she's never met Estinian? Really?
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Look how tall he is. He's like 7 feet tall.
Too long.
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alpha. Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
That's really funny.
I am not Alphino! If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Ugh! Had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side. To think the day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
That was really funny though. When he was like, "You look so rugged now. Look at you." And she's like, "No, I'm not. No."
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
At least someone's having a good time. You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he couldn't stand the thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
I'm gonna say that one because that one's the funniest. Keep them to yourself. Keep them all to yourself.
Keep him to my... You're joking, aren't you? I'd be glad if someone would take him off my hands.
I want to say that one because that one sounds the funniest.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis La.
Azis La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Tiamat.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation.
Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azis La together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard. Ugh! I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less... blunt?
That was really funny though. She's like, I'm not. I feel. Oh. She like started having a meltdown. Oh, it just put me here. I wasn't expecting them to just plot me down in Azizla. Let's see, last night, we had no cause to set foot in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is to say, ugh, I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Oh, whoops. Well then, Tim is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. I think the second one. Let's just say she helped me. Yes, you were a friend of her father. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragonsong War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat has been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls over me to watch her. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Where is it? It's weird that he considers Nidhogg as a part of himself, even now. Oh, Tiamat waits this way. They got 3 pizzas. High quality. My She talks a little slow. My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
So she doesn't know anything about Lunar Bahamut. Sometime later. That my sins should be repeated. I sense not the faintest stirring.
Olan kinwaha. Listran mira an.
As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children.
Esk I an es I kin in. Esk near lei I an es in.
The icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Alagon's dark designs.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Is she referring to the what's it called? The coils? Yes, the dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Asian. She probably means Fandaniel. There can be no other explanation. Accursed Asians, vile minions of darkness.
Ten es an est in. Est I an kin antun u es I.
She does. She sounds pretty upset. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you'll not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
Snosk anta in Dramon.
What would thou have of me, slayer of dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
Santalan infan antosk. Kous lent on.
Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but words shall have to suffice.
Ale o esk an in. Ale kum ak in.
Recall, mortals, that it was I who first summoned my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Snoska Dramon kin. Nestra in. Illes
Indeed, ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell the power we. Let's see. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price.
Unnik, Nalstra ul Antal an, Smon, Tahi
But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Speakest thou in earnest? How would they... Thing is, to cure the tempered, they have to subdue them first. Good luck subduing something like this on the rampage.
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Sahaan, Setso, Kin Bahamut, and
To lay Bahamut's memory to rest. I forgot to read that. To make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest.
Ansu, Na an Ingles, Snaloles Dish an, Na ala an Ul an Sin an Stan in.
When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. So I assume Graha, with this link to Allegan technology, he could probably unbind her himself. Well, the Porksies have shown effective cure in the temper. Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to move her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then before going ahead, we should learn as much about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find information here? Why, yes, we can, indeed. The Elegans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know where exactly to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of her shackles. I know Alphino and Tim here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star. Though that is not the only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too found myself in a prison of despair, and I well know how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step toward a bright future. And now I would help Tama do the same. I think I need a cough drop. Do I have one? Oh, crap. I was rolling over wires, and I freaking moved my microphone too much, and my mic is kind of finicky right now. I gather you are not as strong as you look. Or mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tatara's famous tea, and be indebted to her for her leaves in hot water. And be indebted to her for the leaves in hot water. I think not. I see. Ahem. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. The big thing in the middle? Oh yes, we are familiar with it. The aetherochemical research facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this, a spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Why would I want this? Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem a bit rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Aranger, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference of not only memories but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try at least. Agreed, we'll take good care of it. To the flagship, then. Huh. The flagship. Man, this thing is so big. Man, flying around Oz is such a pain. Oh, what a trip that was. Oh, I guess they flew up here too on those. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, Do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less than time herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is to simply identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Jeez, such big words. Oh, the egg things, huh? Kerr. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause intruder interference. Advise deployable automated combat units proceed. Buzz to friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts to please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Positive. Huh. Where's that last node? Blip bloop. Warning. Scheduled Dragon Restraints maintenance due in 2020 years. Failure to verify systems integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release in 2,000 years. Man, these elegants certainly built things to last, huh? I guess I'll say that one. The burnt hair one doesn't sound very useful. Spontaneously, you say? Well, it does sound promising, almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of a spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node in which Graha spoke. And it was chirping, you say? Very well, let's take a closer look. Oh, somehow I grabbed the map. Blip, do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Blip bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps. Here's your weird blood meal. Take it and be merry. Blip, new user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Authentication complete. Identified user as member of the royal family. Please state your name. I guess I'll just say my name. Welcome, Tim D. You might operate the dragon restraint mechanism when ready. Blip bloop. Error. Unable to disengage restraints on the specimen time. The specimen time at. System update is required. A system update? What do you suppose it's asking of us? I could hazard a guess. Well, that's more than I could say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Bloop. In order to operate the restraint mechanisms, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located in the flagship. So can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time I'll float somewhere spewing. Hold on. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. Bloop. I'm here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Bloop. Gotta use it to terminal this way, please. This place again. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I say which version are you employing? Well, software version 42.002, of course. Blip bloop. Warning. Errors detected but in the data management system. Estimated time required for update 5 years and 1 day. They say it's going to take him 5 years to update. That's rather longer than we were hoping. Are there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate time as restraints instead. Bloop. The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can imagine it will have changed that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain to us, just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does. However, let's see, it does require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via Link Pro once I'm ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left a spare vessel with me. I may have yet use for it. Rest assured, it will be certain to return to Grahatia once this is over. Just a little more work and time, it will be free. But before we go any further, there's something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Elegant Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Asians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Asians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times where you tried to reach out to them instead to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try to reach out to him too? Yeah, certainly after I wiped a smile off his face. Just maybe rough him up a little bit first and all that, just to kind of show him who's boss. I'd rather put my lance through his heart and be done with it. Jesus, then he'd all be in like fully aggro, be like, all right, I'd rather just impale him and be done with it. But perhaps it's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be the faintest glimmer. I only hope that you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. It has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that oh jeez. That there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited. And there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, I suggest we should be getting back to our task. If Alpha Node has had things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Where now? All the way back there now. Okay, so now I need to go back to, now I need to go all the way back to Tiamat. God, she's so big. I can see her all the way from the flagship. I can see her huge form. Like, she's incredibly large. Okay. Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Well, that sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to Nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could from Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirmed that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as is the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, treatment should work. The difficulty lies with the sheer quantity of ether which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic, namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobold. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Maybe that made a difference. Now that you mention it, if Ariel might, she would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints, etherical dampers. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Let's see. Oh, she's not doing dragon speak. Such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these visions of days long forgotten, of war with men of Alleg? Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state? Hold on. Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or perhaps the opposite is true. If so, by helping her recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Let's see. She trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you if time's passed. Really? Tell me about Bahamut and the Ashians. That sounds more prevalent than like now. Alleg is basically gone at this point. I mean, they're like in the long in the past, but the Ashians and Bahamut are present right now. Bahamut, my beloved, would that the peace we found in Mercidia could have lasted for eternity, but alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, know that none were more. I know none more wicked. It was their behest that the first men of Alleg, came to Mercidia into our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would be known as Mercidia by the children of men, although many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed. Oops, my widget started working again. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Let me move that a bit. That widget is overlapping with the other one. I'll move it a little bit back. I think that's good. Let's see. Fascinating. It correlates with the writings of the Charlean scholar Rurusha. She posits that a man settled on the southern continent towards the end of the second astral era. Correctly, it would appear, if only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. I wish this was voiced. It would be when the first children let's see. When first the children of men arrived at our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Was let's see, such was their fear of dragonkind, and they kept their distance, so we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship arrived upon the horizon, bearing even more of their brethren who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem. The smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the men knew peace once more. Oh man, it's so much freaking talking that, like, although she was doing dragon speak, I'd still have to read it anyway. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the men of Aleg slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Asians. The rest the rest thou knowest all too well. But your tale doesn't have to end here, or end there. When you are free, what the heck just happened? My game just crashed. That's not good. My game just crashed during that freaking... Darn it. Come on, I was so much reading to do. Ugh. Darn it. Ugh. My game freaking crashed on me. I just got a weird DirectX error, and my game just freaking crashed. The heck was that about? My game suddenly just decided to just crash for no reason. The heck was that about? That usually doesn't happen. Darn it, I was in the middle of a freaking cutscene. There. Wait, what? Lobby is encountered an error. What the... I got a DirectX error, and let me check the forum. Hold on. What is going on? I got a weird lobby error. Lobby server error 5006. What the heck? Hold on. I got a weird lobby server error. It's like I got weird errors. First, the DirectX just completely crashed on me, and then I got a lobby server error. That's really weird. I got a DirectX error and then a lobby server error. Like my game crashed and then the lobby server crashed. What was that about? Hold on, what did I say? This is some maintenance. Ah, man. I gotta get back to where I was. And hope it doesn't crash again while I'm trying to do that again. Yeah, let's skip the dialogue and get back to where I was. I just hope it doesn't crash again. Let me do the other one now. I saw the other one last time. Wicked, bloodthirsty creatures, not content with their own lands, they brought fire and death to our city, our home. This is all the same. I'm just gotta. It was the DirectX thing crashed and not my whole computer, because that would have been way worse. Just please don't crash again, Gertie. Jeez. Just don't crash again. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over. Keep going, LSA. Your magic is working. Oh darn! I was so close to the end of the cutscene too. It crashed right at the freaking end of it. Man, crashed right at the end of the cutscene. Huff. While I knew this wasn't gonna be easy, no patient could have prepared me for could have prepared me for dealing with the okay. No patient could have prepared me for dealing with the Great Worm. But we're close. I feel it. And while I've gotten only a few more drops of ether to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. All right, here I go. Yeah, I was right at the freaking end of the cutscene too, and it decided to crash on me. And then I got a 5006 error.
Ugh, no! I'm almost there!
Charge her up like a battery.
This is it, Angelo!
Es lies an, mich es die.
Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
The city was like, yeah, all right, if something happens, run. If something goes wrong, run. Like, run right now. Because he's like, there's no way I can fight this thing alone.
Task in Santal Ankin in way.
Answer this, children of men. Can my kindred be saved like in this manner? In like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Ankin.
Yeah, my children.
Slosk an ol folkel an. Slosk seth som in an.
Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil.
Lis a an. Do ood an.
Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too, let's see. You too wish. Oh, you too would wish this, and I know I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
She's in an hen.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Bahamut an
Bahamut, my beloved.
Uljas. Ul
For vengeance and atonement I rise.
By the gods!
Yes, I know she's big.
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
What the? How high did he just jump? He literally just took off like freaking Superman. Like Sidian just jumped like 300 feet in the air. Like I thought he just took off like freaking Superman, like up and away, you know. He literally just took off like a rocket. I was like, jeez. He just jumped. He went from ground level to 300 feet in the air on top of Tiamat's back, like in like a second. He literally took off like he was freaking Superman. Like he was like up and away. I don't know, Superman theme. On the top of my head. Yes, it's smoked chicken. Yeah, I was surprised he literally went from ground level to on time it's back like 300 feet in the air. That was crazy. The way he just jumped like that. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous with Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames. Let us connect to Alphino and be on our way. Oh, I'm in Ul'dah now. Okay. Now I know some of you could do the rest, but I'm sorry to say that the Telophori have other plans. Pagalthana is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort with Marshal Taropin at their head. Well now, given the failure of peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond, so it's good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Almalja. Abandon them? Did we not profess to be friends? Who's up behind her? Yo, Grace. Oh, that's Marshal Terrapin. I guess. I assume that is. So he has made provisions for such provisions for such an exigency. And ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagothan. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde, besides Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not of all the omens. But not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalgans show any signs of tempering. Strange, but Primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls. Unless it's incapable of doing so, primals are not wont to serve a master, Ashen or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner than those we previously encountered. Oh my God, it's hard to read some of their words. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Tim and others like him wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, for whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe we will fare rather better, assuming that is you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces till next we meet. May the 12 bless and keep you. It was kind of her to speak to us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of responsibilities. Turn microphone. Well, I for one am inclined to do as your grace requests, lest we forget, are involved in Fordola are in Pagothan and reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better the chances. Indeed, to the airship then. Where am I going now? The airship landing? Where exactly is that? Hold on, where the heck is the airship landing? Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, over there. I was like, I literally could not remember where it was. Yeah, I never freaking go there. I honestly expected it to just bring me there, because like everything else, every other time it's been bringing me to where I need to go. Oh yeah, I'm getting stuck in corners. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is a dungeon. Graha can do anything, but I'm not doing trusts. My gear is all 520 and melded, so. No, I believe this is the last dungeon of the expansion. That's the that is the tank privilege right there. I got to queue like instantaneously. There we go. It's been a while. About 3 hours in, and then I get to the dungeon. Is that time at?
Ashan Bai, Snotheth Ang An Kin In Na.
Why couldn't we just slide her back the whole way? Instead we're on foot. Just rocked them like a hurricane. Oops. I forgot to use my Flood of Shadow. Trying to make sure I grab everybody, but the game's kind of lagging a bit. I just hope my game doesn't crash again. Okay. Yeah, my frame rate's kind of chugging a bit. Freaking lost one. I always forget about arm's length as one of my cooldowns. I need to use it more. I always forget about it. I'm trying to do 2 packs at a time. I don't want to do like crazy huge pulls. I want to just do two pulls at a time. Should be fine, I think. Fat fingered that. Whoops. I forgot. Okay, I wasn't supposed to stand in that. Okay, come on. But no, since I picked the game up, so I'm a little rusty here. I think it's touching me, is it? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm just not used to this place. I haven't done it before. I believe I watched a tutorial on it, but it was like a long time. It was a while ago. Oh yeah, you gotta bring it to the freaking towers. I forgot. You need to bring the lightning to the freaking. You need to bring the lightning to the. To the freaking to the towers. I forgot about that. You need to bring the lightning to the towers. You can't just put them anywhere. You gotta bring them to the lightning towers. We did the summoner, but the summoner couldn't get the healer up in time. Okay, so yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, oh, but yeah, bring him to the freaking lightning towers. I remember that now. I was like, oh wait, yeah, that you gotta do that. Why is there no shortcut? Yeah, there was a freaking lightning towers, and I'm like, oh right, the towers. Freaking tail attack. Okay, I did something wrong. Yeah, it's been since I played the game. Also, I need to get used to my new. I got a new mouse. It's Did I just drop my combo? I got a new mouse that has a multi-button mouse on it. Buttons on the side. I need to get used to that as well. Ah, it freaking hurts. I'll pass on this stuff. I don't need this stuff. Take it out of my inventory.
What took you so long? The Amalja are in trouble. Let's split up.
Well, listen, Ian, I'll have a dragon back to freaking. This thing's like, what took you so long? I'm like, well, we don't have a freaking dragon escorting us. You freaking, you're a freaking bro. We don't have like. Yeah, it's like, what took you so long? And I'm like, dude, you literally are on a dragon back. What do you want? What do you expect from me, huh? Yeah, my game's kind of chopped.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yeah, I'm really gonna have to see, like, you know, how my game fares next time if I try doing the. That was cool. Freaking cauterize. I want to pull them. I wanted to pull those other guys over here. Okay, I watched the tutorial on this part too, so. Alright. Pull them a little too soon. So much running around in this freaking fight, Jesus. There's like so much running around you have to do. Oh my god. That required so much running around. Like that was basically trash the fight with lasers. So is someone missing? I was like, is someone not targeting? Yeah, I remember this part of the tutorial also kind of went over something like this as well. Okay, that's a lot of guys. I might have bit off a little more than I can chew. I'm using all my cooldowns for this. Is someone not targeting? Oh man, that was a bit of a big pull. This pull was a little much. I used every cooldown I had just to stay alive, because it was so much like stuff going on. But yeah, that last pull is a little much. I had to use like all my cooldowns, like all of them, all at once. Telotherum? cutscene was a little long. It was cool though. What are those things now? Yeah, I'm aware what Akhmorn does. There's a reprisal on that too. I'm just waiting for the flatten to come out. What does that do? Yeah, I'll just stand in the middle one. His attacks really freaking hurt. Did he just use flatten on me? I don't think he did. I didn't see it go off. The Akhmorn, huh? I'm not sure what his tank buster is. Oh, jeez, that was close. The healer in the summer died at the very end there. Oh, jeez. That was close, though. Oof. Okay. Got a commendation that's probably from the healer. I get the commendation the healer was able to keep up with my ridiculous pulls, because that last pull was like really nuts, you know. And I was a new tank anyway, so like I had to give it to the healer for keeping up with my shenanigans, you know. Oh boy. Children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall be forever in your debt.
Antal an in Aisto. Antal afa. Snalask en. Ash an. Dran mira.
Also, I realize now that she's green. I always thought that she was like purple, because like she's like next to those big purple crystals. I always thought that she was just purple in color. I didn't think she was green. By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain as long as I draw a breath. Never again shall the dragons of Mericidia hearken to the lies of the Ascians. This I vow.
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well.
Now that she's gone, I can just put it to regular.
Long have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice.
Okay. You make peace with Ul'dah then.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Garleans who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
Nice.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
Those towers. Yeah, I believe that's the last dungeon and like the last story instance we have to do in terms of like multiplayer stuff. I think all the rest of the stuff is all like single player instances. The floor is all squishy and
what in Ralga's name happened here?
like the floor is made of flesh.
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
No. What have I done?
It's too late for them. We're leaving, now!
Lunar Ifrit.
No. No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together.
Yeah, Lunar Ifrit. He's right here. Darn, I skipped ahead. I mean to read that. I meant to read that. And celebrate I will when we have received the receive word of Arenval's safe return. Let's see, he's minded to share his account of the events that unfolded at Pagathon Sultan. Okay. Oh, okay. Sigh. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters. Come. We must, oh, jeez. We must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her graves. Brave scions. Let's see. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but bear urgent news from the... Oh, oops. Your Grace, whatever's the matter. As our troops withdrew from the Pagothan, they came upon two scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems like one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by another. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, Your Grace. Can you tell us aught of Arenval's condition, Your Grace? The wounded scout. Not save that it is grave. The Kyrgians tend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only be underfoot. Timistinian, would you mind going after Alphino? He may need some support from someone other than me. Nodders. Nod. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what to, let's see. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pagothan. Pagothan. Come on then. I guess. Another one coming to see the lad in silver armor. Master Demiliot is attending to him as we speak. Let's see if he would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Demiliot say? Tell me his exact words. I guess I'll just say let them do their work. But you're right, forgive me. Sigh. When we said our farewells to Arnvald, I was afraid that something like this might happen, but now that it has, all we can do is wait.
Fordola, have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better, and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
I know. There's nothing more that I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Her Grace invites the Signs of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Why is it called the Fragrant Chamber? Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? Three? I guess it means Justinian too. Huh. I didn't realize that my guy's about as tall as Justinian is. I had no idea that my guy was so. The thing is, I chose an average height, like basically the middle of the bar for the height range for Aura. Aura males are just naturally very, very tall. Even though I only picked a middle of the road, like middle.
Your Grace,
you know.
Pray forgive us our lateness.
Even though I only picked middle of the bar for height, what's it called? The height scroller thing. Even though I picked middle, my guy still is as tall as Justinian. Even though I picked like strictly just average height for my guy's just so tall.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
Huh.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
I guess to say, is that wise?
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Pagalfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
It's taking a while to load. It's taking a long time to load. Holy cow. Wow, that took like literally like 2 minutes to load. Jeez. I was like, I thought my game was gonna freaking crash or something. And then immediately another load screen for like 30 seconds. Right then, unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. That includes you, Alpha Node. Arnvald is good hands here. Of course, he would doubtless mock me for pacing around the infirmary. Let us retire then. We might regain our strength and readiness for upcoming challenges. If all are in agreement, then I shall let Kral know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. It would be good time. It will be good to go home. I have something to think. I have some thinking to do. Yes, I'll try asking him. And thank you. So I should look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly relate our return, and Kral in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss. One of which concerns you, Estinian, and believe it or not, well, you will join us, won't you? Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Baldician woman. If I refuse, she would only pursue me. Let's get this over with, shall we? Should only pursue him, that's funny.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time. Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
Hey, good luck with that. Those guys literally don't want to do anything.
'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
It's been a hot minute. Gastarium, I guess?
When Elidibus sought to make warriors of light. That was the voice which calls constantly, to all who might hear it. I spoke of direct communication, when Hydaelyn communed solely with you. A far rarer occurrence.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in his judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again, will you join us?
Well, she's being direct about it, I guess.
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you, and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Meanwhile, at the Imperial Palace.
Well, does this one meet with your approval? Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
Man, freaking Xenos the size of a freaking fridge.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Xenos is freaking huge. The dude is a fridge-sized man.
Well, not quite what I was expecting. Though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thancred's got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust in the Alliance because I do, but when it comes to putting down primals, no one that does that better than us. Well, then you lot, more accurately. You won't catch me trading blows with the primal in the near future, but for every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, baths to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. She does it all herself, which is where I come in and gladly, mind you. Least I can do to support the scions who risk life and limb. She a freaking maid, or is she like the accountant, or what? Poor Arenvald. She's like the maid accountant of the party. Sigh. I wish there was something I could do that we could do for him, but we'll have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. It wouldn't do to have him come back to complete shambles, would it? But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any more developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. The next main center quest is just question marks. Timmy looking well. I think he managed to squeeze in some rest. If he came hoping for some tidings from Krell, I'm afraid we're still waiting, but we'll have to... Well, see, we do have some odd scraps for news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar problems have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has the situation in hand. No thanks in small part to Hoary Boulder. Oh, okay, so there is Hoary Boulder. I thought Arenvald was Hoary Boulder. Whoa. Meanwhile, talks with beast tribes have been going better than expected, encouraged by Olda's progress with the Amalja. Gordania has opened negotiations with the Ixal, believe it or not. All of which is obviously very encouraging, but with the Telephori still, Telephori, yeah. But with the Telephori still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. Begging your pardon, but I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance. The council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo, and your attendance is humbly requested. Oh, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I go ask the agenda? Or what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of our recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Telephori in concert with our new allies. The beast tribes have also been invited. It is hoped that they will join us in the fight with our common foe. And hopefully it goes better than that other meeting that went down Al Amigo with the snake people, because that went horribly. Lakshmi was summoned and it was a big fiasco. So the Alliance would bring all the beast tribes into the fold at a single stroke. An ambitious plan given the delicacy of negotiations, but mayhap an independent one considering the threat we face. Indeed, my lady, and for their part, I am told that the beast tribes have agreed to attend. If the scions too are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance we would be honored to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. Then I'll bear your answer thither with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Lunar Palace. Thither? Well, now that we accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? I move that you and Istola lead the contingent. Given how long you've worked at summoning, it's only right that you be present for what promises to be an historic moment. I think we all played our part in the little endeavor, don't you, Tim? Sure. All present all present may rightly claim a seat. I do quite agree, but by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to coordination of our defensive efforts. Oh, jeez. I'm not coming either. Emmerich will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated. Very well then. While those with a mind to hold the fort get along with holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Aldamigo, shall we? Nodders. Huh. That's interesting. We've been expecting you. Well, some few guests have yet to arrive. The alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? Here comes the Sylph and the Nath. Or the Vath. I forget. Is it the Nath or the Vath that are friendly? I forget.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Okay.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would! Ah! Beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay. Freed our people must be!
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners?
Would you see them slaughtered?
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
Y'shtola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied. In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome. I beg your pardon?
What is it, Soulwalker? Do not express your passion thus. A little quickie without gills, perhaps? Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We, Sahagin, will play our part.
We kobolds have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future, as allies united in purpose.
Make mock of the Ixal, the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets! Pits brother against brother! Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise me!
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern. But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord. But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
Me? I thought he was talking to Alpha now. Let's think about it.
Might I suggest the Grand Company of Eorzea? I remember a certain someone pondering it once upon a time, and it seems as fitting a name as any.
I guess you can steal my thunder.
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
Sure. Oh, everyone's outside now. Well, now that we are out of earshot of other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Oh my god. I wish this was spoken to. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I set first upon these shores, and that I was as heartened as anyone to see the people of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet, even as they uttered their declarations, all I could think about was the conflict to come of the sacrifices that would be made and the lives lost. Inevitabilities that I still struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, first of many. Many and more. Elder Seed Seer, how it may Elder Seed Seer, how we may be of service. Oh. I seek Master Alphanel's assistance in a matter involving Rudania's neighbors the Sylphs. I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade to better protect the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ash Crown Consortium. Though through their dealings, they have cultivated relations not only with the city-states but many other communities besides. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. Just so. It is our hope that we may make use of the self-established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of a new fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the Sylphs are to perform their task effectively, they require the counsel of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force with the self-same goal in mind, no less. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Mouse and Raphael. I know it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. Sigh. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception, one intended to pave way for a founding of what I tend to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals, the Order was doomed from the first to collapse under the weight of more worldly interests, and I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you. Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it's worth, but by your leave I shall prepare a report including a list of recommendations drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alphino, and my trust. When your report is ready, I shall pray share it directly with the Sylphs. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here, gathered here this day, I have no doubt that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telephoroi and flourish. Until we next meet, my friends. So much text, it's like making my throat hurt. Oh my god. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should hear. The former Braves, you understand. Might you join me in seeking them out? I can't think of an excuse not to, so yes. I guess. Well, I should have a guy for your help, grudging or not. Let's see, I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinion of former comrades, it'll be a lot quicker if we share a task of questioning them. Then Mayhap Graha can lend us a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say, we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of today's events. We should be glad of your company, Graha. I shall explain the details in the way. So what's the plan, brother mine? Before discussing the task, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Oh my god. Not long after the fateful day in Elda, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as means of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I mention that it might later be referred to those seeking a similar organization. And while I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone. Its events viewed from a singular perspective. That was itchy. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to be the crucial question, namely why, after the Crystal Braves disbanded, would some members choose to remain with us while others did not. Well, difference of ideals, man. I mean, some people wanted wanted to join Crystal Race because they liked the idea, and some people joined it just because they were being greedy. Excuse me. I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new grand company together, and that this knowledge might help prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. That is my hope, yes. But the question I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then Graha and I will have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk with the ones who kept the faith. My suggestion, have care, however, is that certain of my former comrades are of questionable character. So keep your wits about you. Let us reconvene with Gridania later on. Oh jeez. Oh my god, so much text. If you have no objections, I have. Oh my god, I'm probably when Endwalker comes out. There's no way I can read all this stuff with all the text boxes by myself like this, because this is wearing me out so much. Like, my voice is like, my voice is like on the way out right now. My voice is on the way out. I'm like struggling to talk and it's hurting my throat too much. Yeah, I just can't do this. I can't keep up. Oh, man. I have cough drops, but like they can only do so much. My throat's chafing like crazy. It's bugging me a lot, and it's like I need to have another cough drop to soothe my throat. But I can't keep doing this. It hurts too much. There's too much text, and it's like it's killing me. I can drink and I can take cough drops, but it hurts too much. I gotta take a break from talking. I mean, I can still talk a little bit, but I can't read. It's just too much. Let's see. Why do you think it ended in failure? But it's basically what I said. It's like difference in ideals. Where am I going? Oh, I think I was gonna leave her so soon. I just got here. So what are we talking to self now? I thought we were doing the Crystal Brave stuff. Should we perform the customary dance of greeting? Yeah, it's probably one. It's probably their freaking dad. Back to Gridania it is, I guess. I literally talked with her for like 2 seconds, and I'm right back to Gridania. My thing isn't even off cooldown yet. Like it's been so freaking fast. Like I literally just teleported my home warp, and it's already like I'm already going back there. Like I left here for such a short period of time that my thing's not even off cooldown yet. It's pretty funny. Fortunauts? Master Fortunauts? Yeah, Fortunaut. I think. Here we go.
Elder Seedseer, I thank you for granting me this audience. I am Fortunaut Leveilleur, here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortunaut, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health. Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the chance to be reunited with my children at long last.
And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisoix, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
All thanks we owe to him. In the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your father's tireless efforts which granted us a means to vanquish the Primals. Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess, however, that I opposed his decision to intervene. And my position remains unchanged.
To chart the course of history, not to change it. I am familiar with the Sharlayan stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life, who we are. But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
The final days? Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves and Garlemald, one in which Sharlayan will take no part. If the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider. You may feel safe on your little island across the waves, but if you imagine the Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphino is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before it's too late.
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan. I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline. But I see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure?
He's like, don't stand up. He's like, don't stand up to
his
your
wisdom. His only solution was to go to war.
He's like, don't stand up to your elders at all. But I hated my father and all the stuff he stood for. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. That's like, you literally said don't backtalk your elders and stuff, but you literally did that to your own dad anyway. He's just a douche.
Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life. What prize could ever justify such sacrifice? It is the duty of the learned to avert such tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear. I see your friend shares your misguided ideals. But unlike him, you should know better. By espousing such barbaric notions, You subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy. Alphino, Alizé, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
What? Father!
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
He straight up just like disowned them.
Master Fourcheneau, while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends. Will you not stay and speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the morrow?
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
Father! Wait! Don't bother, Alizé! How can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
Cause he's a douche. Has he arrived yet? Boy, did he ever. Yeah, boy, did he ever arrive. Well, there are two things to take care of at first. Why don't we wait till Telepher at their footstep or at their freaking doorstep, and then be like, "Oh well, sorry, you know, you refused to help us, so you know, Might as well see how you like it. You know, when no one helps you. She said destroying ones came through. Fan Daniel. Anyway, I think I need to go to the store. I need to return something. I need to go to the store to return it, though. So I think I'll call it for now. Yeah, I'll call it for now and stop the stream. I was happy I was able to get back into the game before like the freaking thing crashed on me.